Hey guys, what's going on? It's the boss here with another bit of a gaming discussion for today's video. And for those of you who watch my channel frequently, don't worry, the meme video is still coming that we do for the series that we do here. However, it's going to take me a bit to get through it because we had a ton of submissions for it, so I will be getting to filming it at some point soon. However, this was another quick video that I wanted to do for you guys on the subject of gaming, and something that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, and hopefully give some advice to some aspiring game collectors, such as myself. Now, if you guys don't know, on the side, in addition to what I do on a normal daily basis, besides obviously living, I collect video games and whatnot, specifically retro games, mostly from the PS1, PS2, and recently going into the PSP genre as well. And I've been seeing a lot of people that have been interested in trying to tackle this challenge, of trying to get into collecting video games, of trying to assemble their own collection, and it doesn't even have to be retro games. There's a lot of people out there that want to collect new games as well, such as Xbox One, PS4, Switch, etc., etc. So regardless of it's modern or old, there are some tips and tricks that I feel like I could share with you guys in order to maybe help you at least provide funds more so in order to get these games, maybe where to look to find cheaper games, maybe to know what to look out for in general, that kind of thing. First tip I have for you guys, if you're looking for retro or even modern games, this still applies either way, don't be afraid to look in thrift shops or secondhand stores. Now, I know that may seem like an obvious one, but trust me, you will find good deals. But there's another thing that comes with this. When you typically go into a thrift store or you go to a yard sale and whatnot, there is a chance that you will be able to find a game that you're looking for really cheap, really inexpensive, basically, compared to a store like GameStop, for example. So don't be afraid to go out and look at these places, because you never know, you might get lucky. I'm not saying it'll happen every time, because let's be honest, you're not going to find a game that you want every single time you go to a yard sale. But keep your eyes open, and you can find something to accumulate a collection of sorts. But just keep in mind, you have to actually go out and do it. Now, you have to do it pretty frequently, too, because like I said, it does not happen every time. So don't be afraid to go to different thrift shops, or local yard sales, or even look on online stores and whatnot, because believe it or not, there's some deals waiting to be had, and you might even come across a few games that you're looking for. So don't be afraid to go out and search, is basically the first piece of advice I have. The second piece of advice I have here actually correlates more so with obtaining money in order to collect games. Now, I think it's pretty obvious, especially from my experiences, from what I can relate to, that game collecting isn't always the cheapest thing out there. Regardless if it's an expensive game, or a rare game, or a common game that's only worth a few dollars and you can pick it up for really cheap, that still builds up over time. And you want to find some way, in a lot of cases, especially if there's a rare game that you want to get your hands on, that you might not have the money. So a good way to subjugate this is to go to places like yard sales and Goodwills, thrift stores in general, actually, and go there and find games. Go and find games and resell them. Now, there's a number of ways that you could do this. Besides the concept of going to these yard sales, like I mentioned before, you're not just looking for games for your own collection. You can find games to resell for money and use that to invest into bigger pieces in your collection. Don't be afraid to go out, not only go out and look, and don't be afraid to look, but go out and find good places to sell them. Sell them online, sell them to a local game store, or do something with a local game store instead of just getting cash for it like what you might expect. Trade it in for some store credit, because you'll get more in store credit, and you'll have that built up, so that way if the store gets a game in that you want that's more expensive, then you have that saved up. And generally, you have to know what you're looking for as well. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind, because you can spend $10 on a few games at a thrift store and expect, okay, I'm gonna make a fortune off of these. I'm gonna get $50, total, and that'll be $40 profit in that case. Well, no, because if you spend $10 on the games, turns out they're only worth like a penny each, and unfortunately, well, it doesn't always work out that way. So what I'm saying is here, know what you're buying too before you buy it. If you're going to resell stuff, you have to know what you're looking for. Know what games are popular, know what games are in at that time, and know the prices. Pricecharting.com is a really good website for you guys to use. If you look it up, it's the most reliable source out there as far as I know. A lot of game stores use it, a lot of collectors use it, a lot of people that are into games look at it, period, to see what the prices are, to see what they're going for on stuff like eBay, Amazon, etc., etc. So Pricecharting.com is a good place to look at for the prices and the desirability of the object as well, because, a side note here, sports games, by the way, are not something that you should get into that much either, as like a side piece of advice. Sports games typically don't hold their value because they make so many of them a year. There's so many different types out there, there's so many different editions of them, that very few of them are worth decent money, worth reselling. So that's just a side note there. But the point is, using a website like Price Charting can help you know not only what to look for that's worth money that you can resell from getting them from yard sales and thrift stores, but you also know, in addition to the price, the desirability of it, because that will affect not only how much you get from a game store or from somebody else, but it's also going to affect how much that builds up for you over time in order for you to obtain collection pieces. And I feel like this last piece of advice is probably going to be the most important one. Besides the technical aspects of where to look and kind of what to look out for and websites to use and all that other stuff, you could have the ins and outs of this thing down, but it all comes down to one thing: your passion for it. Don't collect for the sake of value. Now, I understand a lot of people love the passion of finding a game that's worth a ton of money for cheap, or they have that desire to go out and find a game worth $200 just so you can say that you have it, which is understandable too, but that shouldn't be the main reason why you go out and look for games. Collect games that you love, collect games that you like, collect games that you're going to want to have, and collect games you eventually want to play. And that's the biggest part of it. Don't collect just purely off of value or because it's a rare game. Do all the stuff that I've listed in this video, and more so for yourself, because you want the game, because you have a passion for what you're doing. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. That's all that time and money that's going to be wasted if you don't have a true passion for it. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that gets mistranslated, because it always ends up about the value. It doesn't end up about being passionate about the game. It doesn't end up with you loving the games. You just get it for the sake of, you know, having it. And that's not something that what collecting should be about. I understand that's a factor and it's impossible to avoid as a part of it, but it shouldn't be everything. And that's, I think, the most important tip I could give you guys when it comes to collecting games, again, retro or modern. And that is it for today's short little video, guys. I wanted to put out a video talking about a few different tips and tricks that I've learned personally from collecting games. I've been doing it for over a year now for collecting retro games. I built up a sizable collection that I'm very proud of, and I can plan to continue expanding it for some time to come. Hopefully I'll have a huge collection of my own one day with hundreds of games and whatnot, but you know, like I said, have the passion for it. Don't be afraid to go out and look at different yard sales and thrift stores. Know what you're looking for, know the prices, trends, and everything else going on at that time. And again, the most important thing, make sure you actually want to do it, and not because, you know, it's worth money. So, either way, guys, this has been it for today's little video. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. And if there's any experiences you guys have had while game hunting, good or bad, that could help somebody else out. If you guys just want to share your experiences, if you guys have any pieces of advice of your own that you would like to pass along to other collectors, feel free to leave those in the comments as well. I'm sure people looking at them, that might help somebody, like serious collectors anyway, or people that want to get into it. So leave all your thoughts in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to catch more videos like this, and of course other comedic content that I do here as well. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.